He's also EC member and director of publications for the Indian Yoga Association, which monthly is distributing excellent material in the field of yoga to members of the Indian Yoga Association. So having said that, it's my great pleasure and our honor to introduce once again Yoga Acharya Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani ji. Pranam Guruji.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Divya Prabhaji, for that lengthy introduction. It is always very humbling to have someone read out information about you, because by the time the information is read out, your boat on the river has gone much further downstream. And it's often very interesting because we are looking back at what we have achieved, but the present moment is where we are right now. And yoga is about being in the present moment. Atha yoga anushasanam. That is where yoga is. Where do we experience yoga in the present moment? So in this beautiful present moment, during the concluding session of the Kashi Yoga Festival, a festival of light, no wonder it is organized by Divya Prabhaji, because Divya is the divine light. And the holy city of Kashi, Varanasi, and Banaras. What a beautiful place for this festival to be manifesting and spreading the light throughout the world. I will begin with an invocation that honors the source of all these teachings. An invocation that reiterates the need for us to have gratitude, admiration, respect, and love for the tradition and the teachings that are life transforming. Badram karne vishuniyamadevaha Badram pashe makshabhiryajatraha Rangai Tushtavagam Shashtano Yashe Madhevahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vrittashrava Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedha Swasti na Taksho Varishthanimihi Swasti no Brahaspadir Dadatu Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Param Paryaya Vidmahi Jnana Lingeshwaraya Dhimahi Tanno Guru Prachodayate Om Om Yoga Maharshi Dr. Swami Geetananda Giri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Offering my salutations to all the great rishis, those wise seers and the rishikas, the feminine embodiments of wisdom, who have graced this planet, walked this planet where we exist today. We need to ask ourselves a question: are we worthy of being their descendants? We carry their physical genetics. We carry their potential spiritual genetics. But is the science of epigenetics manifesting those spiritual genetics the way they need to be manifest? Or are those genes being hidden, obscured by the kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha? And are we deluding ourselves on this path? We need clarity. The clarity that is provided by Chitta Prasadanam. And this is why in modern times, the teachings of Maharishi Patanjali, that timeless great seer, I call Patanjali a time traveler. And because he is such a dear friend of mine, I love his teachings. They live through me. I often say in a joke that he is Superman Pat. So he is the superhero, Superman Pat, who has given such amazing teachings for all of us. Because yoga is all about transformation. Yoga is all about transcendence. Going through for the sake of going beyond. We need to go through because we are born human on this Karma Bhumi, this planet Earth, Ma, Bhumi Mata. But we have to go through it and go beyond it because it all exists for the sake of our experience and liberation. Bhoga apavargatam drishyam. For the sake of bhoga, the experience. And for the sake of apavarga, the final liberation, it all exists. And we need to go through it. We cannot escape it. We cannot be tamasika and say, I will not do it. Because if not now, when? If not in this lifetime, in which lifetime are we going to do it? And this is why the present moment, the atha, is where yoga manifests in its fullest splendor. As Guruji Nagendraji chanted, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. From the infinite comes the infinite, and yet the infinite remains the infinite. Whenever people think of yoga, often I find people thinking of what they can get from it. So you always have people advertising yoga for this, yoga for that, yoga for diabetes, yoga for hypertension, yoga for asthma, yoga for health, yoga for cancer, yoga for spirituality, yoga for better sex, yoga for sleep, yoga for money making, yoga for, yoga for, yoga for. The moment you say yoga for, yoga has walked out of the room. Because yoga must be taken up and lived for the sake of yoga alone. Yoga for the sake of yoga. And when we live yoga for the sake of yoga, the rest of it will happen automatically. When you live yoga for the sake of yoga, your diabetes management will occur. When you live yoga for the sake of yoga, your stress management will occur spontaneously. You don't have to do it for something. Because the moment we start doing yoga for something, we have lost track of the ultimate purpose of yoga. Again, when in doubt, go to Maharishi Patanjali. Why do we practice yoga? Why do we live yoga? For the sake of eradicating all that is not us, so that the light of wisdom can shine bright and we understand the discerning capacity that enables us to attain that final state of Kaivalya, where we once again become what we were. We are Ishvara with amnesia. We are the divine universe with amnesia. We have forgotten who we are. And hence, Kaivalya is a state of regaining our wisdom and knowledge of who we truly are. Shivoham, 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 Soham, Satchidananda Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Satchidananda Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Satchidananda Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Satchit Ananda Swarupoham, Satchit Ananda Swarupoham. We realize who we truly are. Purve Shamapi Guru Kale Nanavacheda. That Ishvara we are, who is the embodiment of the universal vibration, the pure energy of the cosmos, the pure consciousness that is manifest through Tasya Vachakaha Pranavaha Om. Manifesting that amazing energy of the pure consciousness itself. But what happens? We think we are doing yoga for something else. Yoganga Anushtanat. Why we should take up the yoga anga, the limbs of yoga? They are not steps of yoga. People have used this word step. And so you create a hierarchy. They are all intertwined like a beautiful Venn diagram where all the limbs come together. It's a Venn diagram. It's not steps. There's no hierarchy here because they all feed each other. The yama feeds samadhi, samadhi feeds niyama, niyama feeds pratyahara, pratyahara feeds asana. Everything feeds each other. They are beautifully interconnected. They are not in boxes. They are living embodiments of interconnectivity and integration into the wholesomeness, which is the Purna Swarupa of who we truly are. Yoganga Anushtanat. Anushtanat means you have to live it, experience it for the sake of Ashuddhik Shaye, for the eradication of all that is not the reality. Jnana Deepti, that luminosity of wisdom will glow bright. I say, let us grow and glow in yoga. We have to glow in yoga. That luminosity that is inside us, Antar Drishti takes us into that Antara Jyoti. And in that Jyoti, you become the Jyoti Swarupa. The great Siddha of South India in latest times, Ramalinga Adigalar, he says, Jyoti Swarupa, Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti, Thanipperum Karunai, Arutperum Jyoti. That Jyoti Swarupa is what we are. So the Ashuddhik Shaye, Jnana Deepti, and you develop the Viveka Khyati. That development of Viveka Khyati, the capacity to discern the real from the unreal and move from Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Nityalma Amritangamaya, Hari Om Tat Sat. You have to know what is Asat so that you can move towards Sat. You have to know what is Tamas to move towards Jyoti. Otherwise, it will not happen. You have to know what is mortality and fear of death. Mrit is not death. It is mortality and the fear of death. And we all, during this pandemic, oh my God, that Abhinivesha Klesha of survival instinct has really, really come into us. We all fear for ourselves and those we love. And we have to move from that limited, oh, this body is going to get lost, to realizing we are not just the body, we are much more than the body. It doesn't mean we are not the body, we are body plus, okay? Body plus is how we have to understand ourselves, which means we have the responsibility to take care of this body also, because the body is the temple for the divine. If the temple is not in a good shape, where will the divine stay? My father used to sing a beautiful song. In the chamber of my heart, I keep a shrine for thee. In the chamber of my heart, I keep a shrine for thee. Will thou come, Lord? Will thou come? Will thou come just for me? Will thou come, Lord? Will thou come? Will thou come just for me? Devotees may come, oh my Lord. Devotees may go, oh my Lord. What a beautiful example of bringing the divine into our heart. In the chamber of my heart, I keep a shrine for thee. The body is the temple of the divine. And that is why Maharishi Patanjali says we need to work towards Kaya Sampat. Kaya Sampat is the perfection of all aspects of our existence. The perfection of all levels of existence. I wanted to share a small message today. And the message is, we are misusing the term, abusing the term yogi too much these days. It has become like popcorn. Just like we get popcorn from, the counter in our movie theaters, in the malls, we have started using this term yogi for someone who has bought a yoga mat. Buying a yoga mat makes not you a yogi. Okay? Living yoga makes you a yogi. You have to live yoga. It's not just the practice of yoga, but the embodiment of yoga. You must become an embodiment of the principles of yoga, the philosophy, the psychology, and the spirituality of yoga. This is why Lord Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita, he tells Arjuna, Tapasvibhyo atiko yogi, Jnanibhyo api madhodikaha karmabhyaschadiko yogi tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. He says, "Oh Arjuna, be thou a yogi." Who is Arjuna? Each and every one of us is Arjuna. Every one of us is in that Vishada. Every one of us in that first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we don't know what we are doing. We are stressed out, we are distraught, and we are a psychotic, delusional mess. That is what Arjuna was. And we have forgotten who we are and why we are here. We have forgotten our dharma. And that is why the divine consciousness manifesting through Yogeshwar Krishna tells Arjuna, tells each and every one of us, be thou a yogi. So what is this being a yogi? Again, Lord Krishna gives us the answer. He says, Yadha nendriyarteshu na karmasu anushajjate sarva sankalpa samniyasi yoga ruda tadha uchyate. Yadha, when na indriyarteshu, the indriyas are the senses. You are entangled in this world by your sensory entanglement. I call it the Indriya Jala. You are caught in the snare, the web of the senses that then tie you up. You have to detach yourself, disentangle yourself from your bondage to the sensory engagement. Na Indriya Arteshu, na karmasu anushajjate. You are not worried about all the benefits of what you do. If I attend this conference, what will I get? If I do your course, what degree will I get? If I come to you, what will I get? If I'm friend with you, what will I get? If I give you a like on Facebook, what will I get? If I share your Twitter post, what will I get? The more you are focused on getting, the farther away you are from being a yogi. Because the yogi is one who gives lovingly, selflessly. And I always tell people, if you want to know whether you are yet a yogi or not, test yourself, Swadhyaya, the spiritual GPS. Ask yourself whenever you go someplace, what is the thought that comes to you? When you meet somebody new, what is the thought that comes to you? If that thought is, what can I get from them? What can I get from this place? Then you are not yet a yogi. But if you get a thought, what can I share? What can I give? Well, you are close to being a yogi. Because a yogi is a giver. A yogi is a sharer. A yogi is a compassionate, empathetic, noble human being. We have evolved from being Homo erectus to Homo sapien, sapien, and now we need to move into being a Homo nobilis, a noble human being. That is what a yogi is. Not one who stands on the head. Standing on the head is one component of the infinity. Standing on the head is good for you, no doubt about it. But that's not the end all be all. What is the place we want to be? We want to be a noble human being who follows the Shreya Marga as described by Dharmaraja Yamaraja to Nachiketa in the Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, he says, there is the Shreya Marga, the noble path, and the Preya Marga, the path of pleasure, where you are bound to pleasure and become a prey. The English word prey, falling prey to the Preya Marga. Whereas Shreya Marga is the noble path. Are we walking the noble path? And of course, as I told my beloved Amma Ji, my mother today, she's gone beyond that Homo nobilis. She's gone into what today we call a Homo divineness. You become a divine human being. You have to manifest the divinity. Your divinity should radiate because you are the divine. That is what the first question we have to ask ourselves is, Koham, who am I? And what is the answer to it? Soham, I am that highest. Who am I? That highest I am. Who am I? The highest I am. So, Koham, 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 Soham, 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 Koham, Soham, Soham, Koham, Soham, Koham, Soham. That is how it comes together. We have to ask ourselves, Who am I? Where am I going? And in that introspectional self-reflection of Swadhyaya, we connect. Again, Maharishi Patanjali, Swadhyayat Ishta Devata Samprayoga. You connect to your own divinity. It is not the form of divinity you like. It is your own divinity. The divinity that is coming through you, you connect to it through Swadhyaya. Swadhyayat Ishta Devata Samprayoga. We say Ishta Devata is the form of God you like. That is an externalized interpretation. The internalized interpretation is your Swadhyaya connect to your own divinity and you become a manifestation of the divinity. So a yogi is one who radiates divinity. A yogi is a noble human being who shares unconditionally and is a giver. A yogi is one who has cheerfulness towards all living beings. A yogi is one who can see the divine in every living being and see every living being in the divine. A yogi is one whose thought, word, and action has become integrated and one. There is no dichotomy, there is no duality between what you think, what you say, and what you do. And yoga becomes you. You become yoga. That is my message for today, that we need to work towards becoming yoga, personification of yoga rather than doing. We need to move from doing yoga to being yoga. And that journey from doing to being is the journey of our yoga sadhana. And may we be a Tivra Samvegan, one who is capable of the highest sadhana and attain that highest state of being a yogi. Fulfill the clarion call of Yogeshwar Krishna. Tasmad Yogi Baba. May we become that yogi. May we make Lord Krishna proud of us. May we make Maharishi Patanjali proud of us. May we make our great ancestors, the Rishis and Rishikas, proud of us. And may we be worthy children, loving children of our Divine Mother, Yoga herself. May that be the reality. Hari Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavadaha. And thank you for having me here for this event. My congratulations on a magnificent event. May you grow, may the event grow, and may we all manifest the essence of yoga through every breath of our life. Dhanyavad.